Now we're back on another episode of the Team 7 podcast. We got my boy Isiah here, my boy Carlos over there in the wing, and me, KC, is right here. So today we did this podcast 2 days ago, but due to some unfortunate circumstances, we had the video but no audio. Today we hope the audio is working, so we can at least get some of our thoughts out and it to be heard. So today I was happy to have my boys in so we can, discuss a couple things, basketball, football, especially the upcoming draft. How the Brooklyn Nets just got eliminated broke my heart because it made my pick that I made on here look stupid. But before we get to any of that, like, subscribe, comment, let's run that shit all the way up. But right now we're going to start with the story of my boy Isiah in his third place victory in his latest Jujitsu tournament. So, Isiah, before we get to that, let's discuss the whole entire journey of your entrance, and right now we'll call it as a hiatus. We'll call it as a hiatus. But let's talk about your entrance.
We can call it some bullshit. I'm on some bullshit.
Yeah, but I didn't want to call you out. You know
we gonna sugarcoat it.
I didn't want to call you out, but let's deep dive into your history of martial arts. What got you into martial arts in the first place?
So what got me into MMA, martial arts, Jujitsu, anything like that was, watching UFC on TV. I mentioned, the first pay-per-view that I vividly remember like sitting down and watching was the Rashad Evans, John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing them, with the rivalry and all that shit, classic shit,
Yeah.
UFC still had sponsor shorts.
Yeah, bro. Those are days.
Dudes coming out to fight in their jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Classic shit. But I always like, the grappling, the jiu-jitsu aspect of the whole shit. And I always knew, like, since I first seen it, watched it on TV, I was like, I gotta do that one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I started training, December 2019. We'll really call it 2020.
Yeah.
We'll call it 2020.
Early 2020.
I started out in a little gym called Savage MMA under this guy named Ike Spear. He was a brown belt under Angel Halo Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, did that for like a month, 2 months. It was really like a Muay Thai camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's everything in there, huh? It wasn't. So what was the gym called? It was called
Savage
MMA. And Savage MMA, it wasn't just straight jiu-jitsu. It was like the name MMA. So it had all mixtures of the art. It had striking. Yeah. It had Muay Thai.
I mean, really, it was just Ike showing everyone, every little bit of everything. It was really just a little garage gym, So I did that for a little while, and then I ended up going to like Dethrone, training there, and that's when I really got to really see. Before
we get to the Dethrone, what's your most memorable thing that happened at Ike's?
At Ike's, choking out White.
Yeah, you choked out White?
As some of you may have seen him on the podcast, so Nick, crazy white boy, dope head, always talking about press.
Yeah, nigga, always talking about
always
press.
Always wanting to go to press, you know what I mean? But yeah, training with him, choking him
choked him out?
Yeah, bro.
And then you, so then the departure from there, you elevated your game and went to Dethrone.
Yeah, I went to Dethrone.
Dethrone is in
Clovis,
California.
Okay. Yeah. I was training with Professor Mike Marino over there for a little bit, and that's when I learned like Professor Chino.
Okay.
Which would end up he would end up making New Wave, and that's why I really like formed like my identity as like a grappler and what I liked and what I didn't like, my style. So trained at Dethrone for a little bit, went to New Wave. Was training there with Chino and Felix and Albert. Who's a Savage now.
That's Cookie, right?
Yeah, Albert Cookies. Yeah. Savage.
You told me about him a lot.
Yeah, and now he trains at Elite Team, but in Clovis. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy how we all link up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was training there, and then like I said, I ended up just linking up with the Elite Team, and now I'm over here at Elite Team Fresno with Professor Marty, doing my thing. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Oh yeah, Carlos, what do you know about Jiu-Jitsu and MMA? Like, what's your take on the whole thing? Because I know you watch UFC because we.
I love watching it, but I probably know the basics, you know what I'm saying? I know some of the choke names and all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
That's basically,
I seen Carlos.
Trained,
No, I seen
I
seen Carlos. I seen
you know what I'm
Carlos
saying?
choke a few
Basic
niggas
shit,
out.
like,
Yeah.
basic shit, like, you know?
Yeah.
Come on now. Give me your back, I'm gonna choke you the fuck
Yeah,
out. Straight up.
No. I seen Carlos at least, you know.
And if you go for the takedown, I'm going straight for the guillotine, homie.
Yeah.
And if I'm in there, I'm coming down. Boom.
Yeah.
That's about it, you know what I'm saying?
I've seen Carlos choke some shit. For sure.
We gonna be right back. We gonna pause this before we get into these next stories because we got little things to discuss that we can't discuss on camera. All right, we back. All right, so Isiah, we covered your start of your jiu-jitsu journey, and now you left Dethrone after you made it through Ike's, and you're at your time of Dethrone. What's your most memorable experience there?
Just meeting Chino, meeting Albert, and all the guys that would become New Wave.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like all like your new guys that you
and you know it was mainly the gi class. Chino taught the gi class. That's really what made me love the gi.
Mm-hmm.
But then I made like all my friends. You know, like
I
still talk to a couple of those guys like to this day, even though we all train at different gyms. Like I still talk to like those guys.
Oh yeah,
like, especially Albert.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the most memorable I had there. And then at New Wave, the most memorable moment I had there was like learning how to heel hook.
Oh yeah.
When I learned how to heel hook, I was like, holy fuck, like.
Bruh, because the heel hook game is crazy.
Yeah,
now.
and that's what I'm saying. Like we were just a bunch of white belts. Like you know, like part of it was crazy at the time, but like for me it was fun. Like you know, I loved learning all these like high level moves, like Berimbolo, like. Just doing all these crazy moves, you know.
Have you ever got deep in a heel hook on practice and somebody didn't want to tap?
No.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's pretty safe about the whole tapping. And
yeah, and also like, I don't even think I ever got like I even got to finish a heel hook.
No.
I would like set it up, but then like I wouldn't even know what to do. Like or, you know, people nowadays have pretty good defense.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy to just slap it on, you know.
What would you say is cause it's a big difference. That's why the move is different. What would you say the primary difference is between like a toe hold and a regular like?
Well, with a toe hold, like I'm gonna like basically twist your foot off. And
okay.
with the heel hook, I'm gonna like make sure like your knee's never the same. Like I'm
so one you want the Achilles to be extended, and one you want like the whole foot to be just.
No, it's just churning different parts of the leg,
different
parts of
joint
the body.
manipulation.
Yeah. So the toe holds mainly focus on like the ankle,
mm-hmm.
And the heel hook's mainly like doing like your knee.
Oh, okay.
You know. Which is really dangerous.
Tearing all these ligaments apart.
It's really dangerous, you know. Like that's why, you know, I'm really glad that, you know, I train at a gym like elite team where Professor Marty makes sure everyone's okay. He's always watching out when we're drilling, making sure people aren't. And he always says like, "Yo, make sure you don't yank on anything." You know, we're just drilling. You know, it's a real safe environment. That's really what's important. Like leg locks aren't dangerous if you got a good training buddy, and you know when to tap, and you do everything, you know, technique, and you know it'll be pretty safe, you know. And it's good that people need to start training a lot of leg locks, you know, especially if you want to compete, you know.
Carlos, what's the most intense What's the most intense thing, competition wise, have you seen up close? Like as far as like combat, like have you seen any like wrestling up close? Have you seen any like boxing up close? Have you seen MMA?
Yeah, I've been to boxing events before, but
which boxing event?
Not I don't know, bro. In St. Mark's Center, you know what I'm saying? When they fight, when the tickets are free, you know. You
yeah.
Shit like that, shit, but not no in close. Like we were gonna go for Shook's match.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. You know
what about like high school sport?
The first time. High school
sport. You ever been to like any wrestling matches or any football games?
Yeah, wrestling matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much, bro. Basic shit, you know.
Did you ever have the urge to ever get in there and compete? Cause
to wrestle, yeah, I'd rather wrestle than do jujitsu. Well, that's just me, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'd fall in love with jiu-jitsu if I trained.
Yeah, you would, because you're a killer. You don't want to like do submissions.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You want to finish people.
Yeah, bro. Because wrestling,
you just gotta pin them.
Yeah, and I love wrestling. I was a long time wrestler and shit, but wrestling, there's a cap on wrestling, like to amount of violence you can get done.
But here's the thing, that's where like, you know, if you're really into like the jiu-jitsu like community, it's starting to like evolve in like that hybrid wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
That's what we were talking about the other day.
Now it's like you gotta have a good single leg and a good shot. Like if you don't have a good shot, what the fuck are you doing?
You have any scissors, bro?
Scissors? No.
Fuck it all. Gorilla this shit off. Fuck disrespect. So let's get to your first ever competition. First ever jiu-jitsu competition. When was that?
First ever jiu-jitsu competition was last year. Sometime in the spring. I don't know if it was like May or some shit.
Okay.
It was in Fullerton. Jiu-Jitsu World League Fullerton.
Okay.
It was the first tournament that came back after COVID.
And what weight class are
193.
you? 193. That's where you're participating.
I didn't cut no weight.
Okay.
And that's really was my downfall. These guys were way too big for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and they're like cutting.
They were just sitting on me and like couldn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, fuck it, bro. Like, first time, let me just go out there and see what this shit's like. I'm seeing a bunch of people like throw up shit on themselves. I think I'm chilling there. I'm dolo. Yeah, bro. I'm chilling. I'm dolo. I'm with my parents. I got headphones on. I'm dolo. You know what I mean? Didn't even have a coach to coach me. Adriano, good looking. He sat in the chair, and so did Jesse at that time. Didn't even have a coach. Nigga, shut up, dolo. How I'm supposed to? No coach, none of that. I was like, fuck it, bro. I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, all I got is my belt, my gi. Like, that's all I need, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So, I ended up, it was a good experience. Ended up actually getting smashed, got swept, didn't win anything.
How many matches did you have in total?
I had 2 matches. With Jiu-Jitsu really, you get one match to try and redeem yourself, try and get third. Okay. So, yeah, I went 0-2 that day. No one subbed me, thank God. They just basically...
Good defense.
Yeah, good defense. That's what really I kept my chin up on. I was like, hey, no one got me up out of there. And, they just got me in points.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one was just the last one.
And you could chalk that up to like this inexperience.
Yeah.
And nerves and it's a lot for your first one.
Yeah.
So for you not to get like subbed at all, that really shows grit.
But for me, I also knew like, hey, this is my first tournament, and like I said, like I'm not pooping on myself, I'm not throwing up. A lot of cats out there is worried and shit. I was like, bro, like
you're made for that.
Like yeah, like you could say that. Like I never really like got too much nerves. It was just mainly like I just want to go out here, like fight these dudes, and then get home. That's the feeling.
But what I meant was the feeling that you had was like you're home, like you're made to compete.
Yeah.
And so most people get like nervous, especially their first time. They'll get nervous in front because it's a crowd there, bro. Cause think about it's a crowd there.
Fucking nervous like a motherfucker.
Nigga, it's a crowd. It's your family. It's people that you may or may not know, and then you have all your other opposition, their family, their friends, their everything, bro. So that's a big. And then, bro, you don't know if the whole time you're doing this, was you doing it right? Was you paying attention? Are you in good enough shape? Did you do everything to your power that I checked every box to make sure that there's no stone unturned?
Everything that you're saying is true, but I'm gonna show you what cuts all that out.
Go ahead.
These guys right here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
you see everyone who you go to any jiu-jitsu tournament, everyone's got headphones on and they're just trying to focus, tap in. And I feel like that's what you gotta do, bro. You gotta lock in. And some guys, like I said, hey, they gotta poop on themselves. They can't lock in, and I don't blame them. But for me, I was always able to just put my headphones on. I make a playlist, of stuff that I want to hear to motivate me, and I don't want to sound like a dick or corny or anything like that. But I'll quote one of my favorite MCs, Benny the Butcher. He has this line that says, "I went to war and I held that cannon firmly."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was just like when you hear that in your headphones and you're warming up and you're seeing all your ops in the bullpen, you're in the bullpen, and you got Benny telling you that, it's like, how could you be scared? You getting hyped. You feel like one of them ball playing niggas. You looking up, you looking at the jumbotron. It's like, I'm on the ground level, I see the fans.
Bruh.
You know what I mean?
Nigga, there's a song that if I listen to this day, it will take me back to the moment where I almost killed this nigga in wrestling. It was 8th grade, El Capitan Middle School in Fresno, California. And I was wrestling at the time, the basic light heavyweight 205, but I was always like 194. We wrestled against, I believe it was Rio Vista, this tall ass dude I was wrestling. White dude, I don't remember his name at the time. He ended up, after this match, bro, all my homies that went to Rio when we went to Central the very next year, I had this nigga in class, and his personality was straight weird. But I thought that was just him. Everybody said after your match, my nigga, like, he snapped. What the fuck? So, nigga, we get to it. We get to the match. Everybody's going off. Everybody's going. We whooping Rio's ass because we have the better wrestlers. It's like 3 matches before mine. The referee or the stage ref, whatever the fuck it's called, he was like, hey, is this one of your wrestlers? And he pointed to me. And my coach was like, yeah. He's like, tell him to shave. Like, he can't have a mustache. And I was like, what? They was like, yeah, you have to go in that bathroom and shave. Nigga, I am 13 years old. Mind you.
You had a mustache at 13?
Yes.
What the fuck? God damn. That's the genes.
Nigga. I have full chops. Full chops, mustache, handlebar, everything. Nigga, I look like a straight Mexican and I'm black. Real shit.
Puerto Rican.
Nigga, like, okay, Puerto Rican, my nigga.
Nah, you look like a paisa.
Nigga, either way, nigga, I look like somebody that's not me. So, the nigga say, hey, go shave your mustache. I'm arguing with him. My coach like, Ernest, we don't got time for this. There's only a couple more matches. You're up. Go fucking shave. Nigga, I don't bring no razor to school. You can't bring no razor to school. The referee's like, we'll get your coach a razor. Just go in there, start using a bar of soap to, get your shit ready. I was, okay. Nigga, I thought this was like some bullshit. Like, I thought that was just playing like a joke. Nigga, I was like, okay, these niggas bullshitting me. Because they made me shave before, but that was like at a tournament. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's because a lot of people.
This is like a regular home duel.
Yeah, but this is on our soil, nigga. This is El Capitan fucking
It was a home duel.
gym. So I'm like, oh, these niggas is playing weird. So I'm like, whatever, bro. I go in there. My coach come in here, like, Ernest, hurry up. This is weird. I'm like, whatever.
You thought it was politicking.
Yeah, I thought it was politicking. Nigga, I shave. Get this shit out quick. Get up. They're like, all right, you got like one more before you. And it was my boy EJ. So EJ was handling his business. I put the fucking ears on, nigga. This song, to this day, will bring back to that moment, nigga. Roy Jones Jr. I know y'all niggas. Did y'all know Roy Jones made music?
Yeah, what the?
Roy Jones, the boxer, made music, nigga. And back then I had the army cut fade. I had the high and tight because Roy Jones. Nigga, I was light skinned, had the high and tight, nigga. So I put the ears on.
He was over there doing the little Philly shell.
Can't be touched.
Yeah.
Nigga, it's my shit, bro.
That's the only one.
Yeah, bro. I put that shit on.
Heard it before, bro. I'm pretty sure.
Nigga, I put that shit on. I got my girl at the time. She's in the fucking stands. Her brother in the stand. Her mom, her stepdad. Nigga, I'm in there, nigga. Now I'm fired up. I'm like, okay, nigga, these people gonna see me smash these niggas, bro. They're like, all right, Ernest, you up. Nigga, I'm bouncing. I'm jumping high as fuck. Bouncing like Yoel bouncing, nigga. Not as high, but I'm bouncing, my nigga. Bouncing. They say, you up, nigga. Threw the fucking shirt off. Put the straps on. Instead of shaking this nigga hand, I slapped his hand. This nigga.
A little disrespectful, huh?
A little disrespectful, but I don't give a fuck, nigga. It's my
You
home.
don't give a fuck, you got a beard, huh?
I had a beard, nigga. I'm baby shaved, nigga. I'm baby smooth. Nigga. Slap his hand. Referee's like, are you ready, green? I'm always green because I refuse to be red. So I'm like, I'm always green because left foot. So put the green on. Nigga put the red on. They say, you ready, green? Ready, red?
Can you turn that
Go.
paper off?
Nigga. We tie up, nigga. I got under, over. I snap his ass down. I get the forearm grip. Snap his ass down. As soon as he pop up, nigga, blast double. Nigga, head, center of his chest, both legs. I'm talking about this nigga shit is like right, his body's like right here. Like this. And nigga, this shit was on video, bro. All my niggas at El Cap seen this video. Or Central or wherever the fuck. Nigga, picked his ass like this. Nigga, like WWE style, nigga. Like this. Said, fuck it. Let my own legs go. Dip this nigga on his top of his cranium. His whole entire body like a pencil. Like this. Flat. I thought this nigga, okay, I banged him. He's out, nigga. The ref, pin. I'm like, nigga, I'm flexing. Yeah, nigga, what's up, nigga? Like, I'm flexing and shit. And then my coach is like, Ernest, no. I was like, fuck you mean no? I looked down like, oh, this nigga's knocked out, bro. Nigga snoring the whole thing, eyes rolled. I'm like, oh, shit. And the ref was like, oh, he's like trying to tap him. They calling everybody else over. They're like getting everybody like space and shit. Everybody in the crowd like, gasping and shit. And I'm like, whatever, nigga. I'm like, fuck it. And then my coach is like, Ernest, keep bouncing. Like, fuck it. Nigga, I started jumping, bouncing back and forth. And my coach is like, yeah, it makes you look more menacing. I was like, hell yeah, nigga. So we got bounce it. And then the ref was like,
These niggas smoking dust, bro.
no, nigga, bro. Nigga, shout out to my nigga Victor Brasida, nigga.
Anyways, nigga.
No, hold up, nigga, I'm not done.
That nigga goes some shit.
I ain't done.
He said nigga over there snoring.
Hold up, nigga.
He said make you look more menacing.
Hold up, nigga, I ain't done, nigga. Hold up. And so, nigga, it's like 5 minutes go by, nigga. Like, they try to, like, get him, back up. They, like, smacking him. They get the little mask on him. They finally get chest pumps. They're like, all right, the crowd go wild. Like, all right, Ernest, you can leave. You can, like, get off the mat. And I'm like, all right. So I took my shit off. I go outside. Nigga, my lady at the top, she run out there. Everybody's going crazy. Like, oh, you almost killed that dude, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, fast forward this shit to a year. First day at Central, nigga, we're in, evens. No, actually, second day at Central. It's evens odds. Nigga, you want to take that? You want me to put pause?
Yeah.
Hold up, nigga. We gonna push pause on this real quick.
Yeah.
We gonna push pause on this real quick. You know what I mean? We had to do step away real quick for some personal matters, but we back. So, I believe I was at the part where at the end. So, it's the first day at Central, and actually second day at Central. And this nigga's in my fucking English class and shit. And nigga, everybody's telling me like, oh, that nigga's a weirdo and all this other type of shit. And I guess like the day before, because today, the day I'm talking about is the second day of school, and the first day of school, I guess this white dude ended up breaking up with his girlfriend. So he was an emotional wreck. Nigga, he came into the classroom tweaking. And he was like, you're the guy who knocked me out and all this other shit. And I'm like, what, nigga? And he was like, yeah, you're the guy who knocked me out. And you're the reason why everybody at school is talking shit. And he was just going off. And I'm like, oh, damn, nigga, I might have to swing on this nigga. Hold up. And then, yeah, I was like, I'm about to swing on this nigga. And then the teacher, Mrs. Guzman, was like, whatever the fuck your name is, go outside, go to room 11, go to Miss McCurley's office or whatever the fuck. He was
Curly, huh?
nigga, the fat bitch, you know what I mean? This nigga was going off, bro. He was just trying to flip tables and shit, and I'm like, oh, this nigga's twisted, bro. Nigga, this nigga heads outside, the whole classroom is all quiet and shit, and I'm like, well, that was awkward, nigga. Everybody started laughing and shit. Ms. Guzman says, Ernest, you go outside. I was like, well, if I'm going outside, that nigga out there, I'm about to knock his ass out. So, nigga, I grab my backpack, I rush outside. Everybody runs to the fucking window. Nigga, this nigga's fucking, and nigga, I hear this nigga inside room 11 in Miss McCurley's office going off, flipping shit, like yelling at her, calling her a fat bitch, going off, nigga. And then you see the Captain Save-A-Hole himself, Officer Hank, roll up there, put his slap them handcuffs on Jimmy and shit. I don't know if that's his name. I'm just calling him Jimmy because he white.
I think it's Officer Hill, no?
Is it Hill? I'll say, hey.
Hill,
okay, Officer Hill. That fucking square butt came over there, slapped the fucking sticks on him, threw him in the back of the car. And then he came walking to me. He was like, Ernest, do you have any idea that he's bleeding? I was like, he's bleeding? I had nothing to do with nigga bleeding. What the fuck? That nigga was in class, tripping out, flips the tables, maybe he cut himself from a table. Said, no, he has a name carved in his arm. I said, the fuck? A name carved in his arm? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know anything about this? And so he grabbed the dude's arm, put it out the window. What does this say? I looked at it, and I was like, well, that's a girl's name. I don't have anything to do with that. He's like, why do you have a girl's name fucking carved in your skin? Oh, that's my girlfriend, we broke up, blah, blah, blah. He looked at me, he looked at that nigga, he put his arm back in, he's like, we're going to the precinct, nigga. And he fucking sped away. I was like, fuck yeah, that nigga's a fucking nutcase, nigga. I never heard that nigga ever since then, nigga. That nigga probably got locked up or fucking offed himself or something. That nigga was a nutcase, cuz. That nigga was a nut, bro. No bullshit.
You did that to him, fool.
I didn't do that shit. Nigga, once, I dipped his shit. Once I dipped him, nigga, that's on you, nigga. That ain't on me. Like, you know what I mean?
Was a victim, bro.
Nigga, that shit was wild. Nigga, it was wild, nigga. I'm telling you, my nigga, like, everybody was talking about that shit for like 3 years. I was like, nigga, that shit was wild as fuck. I was like, I don't know Cuddy name, but whoever he was, R.I.P., my nigga.
Cuddy name.
Because that nigga's fucked off.
Shout out to Cuddy.
Shout out to him, my nigga. Shout out to dude, because whoever he is, he a soldier now. But, nigga, that's some stupid shit back in the day. But, whew, let's completely pivot. Since we're still on the topic of combat, let's go to your third place victory now. Let's skip all the way to your most recent jiu-jitsu matches. Where was this located? Where was the last recent tournament was held?
Jiu-Jitsu World League, Stockton, California.
Stockton, California. And what was the date?
February 26th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's roughly, what would you say, roughly 6 months after your first competition?
About that, yeah.
Okay.
You could say that.
And in those 6 months, what would you say that you mostly improved on?
Probably just like my ability to like be comfortable.
Okay.
And not like really panic as much. Even though like you're always gonna like instinctually like mess up, you know?
Yes.
But I just felt confident, you know, just training, training with Professor Marty and getting like all like that knowledge that he like passes down every day at class. Like I felt good, you know, like high level technique stuff being showed, you know, good training partners. So the confidence was there, you know. The weight cut was cool. And yeah, like I said, first match, you know.
Hold up, the first tournament you competed at you competed at 193.
193.
The second tournament you competed at what weight?
It was I think it was 183.
183, so a whole 10 pounds lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the biggest difference did you feel off the bat from the weight cut from the 10 pounds compared to the 10 pounds you had basically disadvantage because you were the smaller guy when you were at 193, and now you're basically the same size at 183. What would you say was the biggest difference there?
Just the able to like manipulate their body the way it needed to be. You know, getting grips. You know, pinning legs down if they needed to be pinned. You know, just basically being able to hold a guy down. And him not being able to muscle out of it.
Okay, hell
you
yeah.
know, that definitely made a big impact. But I already know, like, my next tournament, I want to go lighter. Because, like I said, like, that tournament when it was, like, 183, 185. Right now, as we're speaking, as we're recording, I'm, like, 175. A whole another 10 pounds
And
lighter.
what would you like to actively compete at?
I want to compete at the weight that my professor competes at, which would be, like, 163,
163?
Somewhere around there. 163, 168.
And that's where you feel that you'll be the most, like, strong, cardio, everything.
Yeah, especially if I get, like, a good, like, lifting regimen, you know, strength and conditioning regimen, you know. I should get, you know, pretty toned, pretty solid, and a little bit more efficient.
Hell yeah. Okay, so, with this tournament at 183, your first match, how did it go? Set the stage up for me, if you would.
So, the first match, it was against a guy, I forget who he was from. He was probably from somewhere up north, Northern California.
Okay.
About my height, but he was definitely, he had a little bit of grappling experience because I could just feel it. Like, you know, when you train, you start to just feel the people's experience, not really like the belt.
Okay.
You can just kind of just, when you roll with them, you feel, okay, like, this guy, you know, feels this way. Like, some blue belts are stronger than certain blue belts, you know? Like, it's just, everything depends.
Yeah.
The match went all 5 minutes. I think I pulled guard first. No, I think I tried to, like, maybe shoot in. Didn't work. I pulled guard. You know, and then I think I was just really just trying to fight off my back for, like, 3 minutes. There was a scramble where I transitioned to the back, and I actually got in like a rear naked choke grip underneath the neck, but I didn't sink in the hooks because I was panicking. You know, it was just right there, and I was just instinctually.
Would you say that's panic, or would you say that's a killer instinct?
I would say it's just my finishing instinct because I always want to finish.
Yeah,
like,
you're chasing a finish instead of like properly.
And that's the thing.
Up.
Like that's another thing too. When I say you can feel people's experience, you can feel people's mentality too. Like there's guys who want to play it safe, and there's guys who are gonna throw it out there and risk it all because they want the finish. And I feel like me personally, even when I'm in the training room, I always like to just experiment and do like crazy stuff. Like even if I know like I'm gonna get counted like hella fast, like I always want to just try and push. And like the most frustrating thing is like when you're getting pinned down by a guy who just wants to like camp on grips.
Yeah.
Just like camp.
Lay
like,
and pray.
Yeah, you know. Or even if he's on bottom, you know, and you're trying to pass and he's just maybe, I don't know.
He's just stalling.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just tried to go for the choke because I seen it was right there and I knew I was probably down some points. And then he ended up buckling me off and then the time ran out and then I ended up losing the first match. As soon as I lost, I was like, I'm having deja vu the last tournament. Everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
I immediately go to my professor and I start crying. And I'm trying to tell him.
It takes a lot of balls to fucking admit that shit, bro.
Real shit. You know, I ain't got nothing to hide.
Hell yeah.
Because there's a reason why I got into this game.
Fuck
Real
yeah,
shit.
respect that.
There's a reason why I got into this game, you know. And it wasn't for the clout. It wasn't for the IG picks. It wasn't for, you know, whatever. And I really feel like, you know, jiu-jitsu, what's important is you always have, like, a mentor. You know, your instructor. And so right as soon as I got off the mat, I went to him and started crying. I started telling him I don't think I'm going to be able to win anything. I think I should just go home right now. I don't even think I should do the next match. I was just completely defeated mentally.
Yeah.
And he completely just, like, vocally slapped me in the face. He was like, slap me in a bitch. Like, you know, we still got third place, you know, like, you can still come back type shit, you know, like.
Still got something to shoot for.
Yeah, like, why are you giving up right now? And he was like, if you want to do anything right now, you do it right now. Like, just do it right now.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck all that. Like, you already lost one match. Like, oh well. Like, just you might as well go out and do something crazy on this one.
Yeah. Give it your all.
And I said, I bet.
Hell yeah, I bet.
And I took that seriously, you know, when he told me to just go out there and do it. I said, bet. And, you know, which is some crazy shit. It was this next match, right? I ended up competing against a fellow teammate. Wasn't from the same gym, but he was from Elite Team Porterville. Yeah. So same team, just different location, you know. He was my teammate. You know, never met the dude. Real humble dude. I got his phone number. He invited me to go out there to go train with him. You know, real cool dude. So the match starts, and I think I pull guard again. I don't know why. I think I just like pulling guard a lot.
That's your most comfortable position.
Because I like to wrestle up.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I like to pull guard. Is because I like to wrestle up from De La Hiva or something. Mm-hmm. I don't like to just go to guard and just lay there. Yeah. So I pull a guard, and you know I think he ends up getting side control on me actually, and I'm like, oh shit, like you know he's about to get mine. He's already got 2 points on me, maybe 4. Maybe he got a pass and then side control. So I'm like shit. So you know I play it real tight, real smooth. You know I start tucking everything in, start you know putting my right knee in to try and get my guard back. Boom, get my guard back. I'm like okay, boom. So I think what I do is I try and get half guard, and I think I maybe like coyote guard sweep them to where I'm on top now. And so I end up in top, end up passing to his half guard. And for me, one of my favorite submissions to go for is the Ezekiel choke, gi or no gi.
Shout out to
Alexia Olenek.
Hell yeah.
So I'm in half, right? Oh my bad.
Let's go.
I'm in half, right? And I know I can set it up right here. And so what I do is I get my arm behind his head, you know. I grab my gi, and you know I slap that bitch on. And I knew it was tight, you know. I feel like I'm really good at doing Ezekiel chokes and really sliding my arm where it needs to be, you know, making it really dirty and like grimy, like you know,
making it hard for him
to get the tap.
Yeah.
Especially in no gi, like how Alexia Olenek does, where he does like the rear naked choke grip and he slides that shit in. So yeah, I ended up slapping it on. He was tough. He ended up fighting it for a couple seconds, but I did eventually get the tap. And as soon as I got the tap and I knew I got that match, I was like, we getting third. Like, we getting on the podium. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, you know, like I was like, something just switched. You know, it was like I was back at the gym on the mats, like when no one was watching me. Even though I was at the Stockton Arena, had my mom's there with me. Everyone's, you know, Lewis, my brother there, you know, I got this hell of niggas up in the stands, you know, feeling like one of the ball play niggas, like, looking up at a Jumbotron after I had got the win, like, oh shit, like, you know, feeling like the Bean, you know, like really, like feeling like Mamba, you know, and I was like, all right, for sure, we getting back, boom, so I wait a little bit, my next match starts. Now, granted, all due respect to my last opponent, because dude was stirring up Matt's side. I guess he had a bad weight cut. Maybe he didn't calculate something right. You know. You know how that should be. Yeah. He'd be feeling sick and all that.
Fuck yeah.
So I already knew he was gonna be a little gassed, and I said, well, if he's already gassed, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. Like,
hell yeah.
Like, why am I gonna go out and burn out? I'm just gonna let him, you know, burn himself out. What does he do? Match starts. He's burning out his grip, standing up. I can just feel him like squeezing me, like. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let him burn his forearms out. Sure thing enough, boom. I pull guard again. Do my favorite setup. Pull guard, De La Hiva. I bump him with my knee, and I come up, and I get like a single leg.
Okay, hell yeah.
And I get him down. So I get him down.
Like couch wrestling.
I get him down. I end up like in half, past the side. And when I'm inside, I end up getting like a Kimura grip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, all I gotta do is just posture up, and it's just a wrap. And sure enough, postured up, cranked it behind, and got the tap, and
Fuck yeah.
ended up making my way to the podium, and it was a real cool experience, above all else, like I always try and stress this, and it's not about the tournaments, or they're not about like the podium. The podium's just, it's nice, but it's not what it's about. Like, even my teammate who I beat, and he didn't get a place, like, he was a real G for going out there, like, everyone is. Like, anyone who puts themselves out there, even the little kids.
Fuck that.
Like...
Fuck yeah, bro. You gotta respect anybody who steps up there, because as a fellow competitor, it takes a lot to go up there. Because you're dealing with nerves. You're dealing with all the stresses that go into it. But continue.
So yeah, like, I just want to, say that, salute to all my opponents, that I faced in Stockton. It was a real cool experience. Like I said, hey, I even got to make a friend. My teammate who I ended up beating. That's the cool thing about Jiu-Jitsu. You make friends with people who you might lose to and you might beat. So overall, it's a good experience. Came back. We had a big barbecue, got to eat. And it was cool. It was a good experience.
Oh yeah. When's the next time that you'll think you'll ever compete again?
I don't know. Like I said, I've been on some bullshit lately. I literally haven't trained since
hiatus.
I've been on a small hiatus since that tournament. Just like a bunch of stuff going on. New car, new job. I got my girlfriend. Doing stuff with her all the time. Not all the time, but always just trying to
spend time, bro.
Spend
come
time,
on,
trying to be a good man for her, like on some real G shit and all that, real soft, shit,
no reason.
Us three right here, we all gotta try and make times out of our day for our women in our lives, whether it be like yo woman, yo girl, or my girl,
Yes, sir. Well, my woman is my fucking daughter, but
salute, salute, but yeah,
out there, huh?
Making sure.
Trying
to get me fucked up here, nigga. Come on, nigga.
My bad, nigga. Caught up, nigga.
My girl is my little girl, nigga. Little Nova Bova, nigga. Yeah. Only girl I got in my life.
Yeah,
right now.
I got my girl, everything's smooth right now. May 1st, that's when, we're gonna make it back to the mat, really get back.
Fuck yeah.
And the Matrix, trying to get back to the simulations, and just make it a routine.
Carlos, let's flip the complete script, because me and Isiah did a whole lot of discussing on this podcast. Now it's your turn to get involved. Skateboarding in the old days.
Fuck, fool. That's 10 years ago. What about it?
I don't care, my nigga. Isiah just got him a board. I'm about to give me a board.
Why'd I start skateboarding or what?
Yeah. Who was your because I asked Isiah this.
I started skateboarding because of my neighbor.
Your neighbor?
Yeah, he would always be there with the skateboard. And then it was only 2 houses on the whole lot, it was brand new. Mm-hmm. So it's just us two, We went. He's a grade above me. We went to I think Polk together, and then El Cap.
Okay.
But ever since I moved, he was the only kid out. You know what I'm saying? When you barely move, you gotta make friends.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And he's the only house on the whole lot. There's only 2 houses. Your house, and
you gotta chill with him. Yeah.
Skateboarding all day. I was like, fuck it. Let me go outside. I'll take a football outside, start throwing the ball, and then I started getting into skateboarding, because I was like, hey, let me try your board, fool. Let me try to ride it, fool. Let me try to ride it real quick.
What
And ever since, you know what I'm saying?
Did you watch any skateboarding? Like, once you start skateboard, did you like follow any skateboarders like Tony Hawk or like
yeah, bro, like Eric Costin.
Who's a black dude? There's a black dude that used to skate. He was in a
TK or
Terry Kennedy.
TK.
No, it's another one. He was in a Tony Hawk. He was in a Tony Hawk game.
Nigga caught a body.
It's like Campbell or something.
Who?
Campbell is his last name.
I don't know.
Clayton Campbell, something Campbell.
I don't know.
You don't know? Something. But anyway, that don't matter. It was just a black dude at the time, and that's the only reason why I fucked with that Tony Hawk game, because there was a nigga in it. But skateboarding. Who was your? How would you say? Who was like your?
I don't have no idol in skateboarding. Every try to go out that way. Not really, bro.
You didn't like idolize any famous skateboarders and like want to get where they eventually were at.
Not really, bro. Like, I love doing it, but it was just something to do, There wasn't shit else to do. That was before I met you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was way before. That was just me and him, bro.
That was before the hood got in your veins.
Yeah.
When the hood got in your veins, you'll give a fuck about boarding.
That was before P Block.
Hell yeah, before P Block.
Yeah.
God damn, that was some nigga.
Yeah, bro, that's a long time ago, but
I
still like it though. You know, I like watching skate vids, all that shit, bro.
Who
doesn't, bro?
Who do you watch any like specific skateboarder now? Because
if anything, right, it's always the OG P-Rod, boy.
Salute.
Cause who's the guy you showed me?
P-Rod.
There's another dude, younger dude.
Younger dude, Sean Pablo.
There we go. Remember I was thinking that because I was like Pablo, Sean Pablo, but the dude Pablo Escobar's son.
But the nigga who I showed you who like put him on, who was his dad, was Dylan Reader.
Okay, yeah.
That was when you were showing us.
Yeah, that fool was cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. Because like skateboard, nigga, it's back in style again, bro, and that shit is.
You think so?
Yeah, nigga, Rafi the Plug is making that shit back in style, bro. To be real, because nigga with that skateboard piece shit he just dropped, nigga, that shit's gonna eat the streets up. And so with niggas skateboarding, especially since skateboarding is becoming an Olympics and shit like that, you get like sponsors and money again with skateboarding. It's a path to become a skateboarder. Like back in the day, like nigga, if you skateboard all goddamn day, your parents would be like, "Why the fuck are you out skateboarding? It's dangerous, all this other type of shit." But you be like, nigga, you don't see Najee Harris? You don't see that Japanese nigga who just won the Olympics? Like, nigga, I could be just like them. I get sponsorship. I could have Monster, Red Bull, all these different sponsorships. We'll never have to live in a hood ever again. When you talk about skateboarding, there's legit ways to make money out of skateboard. Just like there's legit ways of making money in podcasts and making money in video game and making money in anything that you really have passions on. These days with streaming, anything is possible. And so with skateboard, that's the reason I'm asking you, because like people always ask me, what the hell is your brand about? My brand is about us. The brand is about the family. The family is the most important thing that I fuck with. And so that's taking care of all. That's taking care of all the homies. That take care of all their parents. Nigga, some of us got kids. I got kids. Hood got kids. My brother is probably on his way to have, you know what I mean? So everybody that has kids need to think about the next generation, because we had our time in the sun. Well, nigga, some of y'all still have a little bit of time in the sun, you know what I mean? But as far as niggas that has kids, like we have like a different sort of mindset now. Like our mindset is like we can't be broke. Because our kids can't be broke. Like our kids need to eat, our kids need to sleep, our kids need to make sure they don't. Nigga, my son don't need to ask me, "Hey, daddy, what's going on with the lights? Hey, daddy, what's going on with the TV?" Like that's not a question I never want him to ask me. And so, fortunately, we're in positions that we don't have to do that type of shit. We're not, luckily, knocking on this fucking wood, nigga. Luckily, we're not in a position where some people are, where they scraping every day. And so, we're able to talk some shit like this and hang out and smoke, you know what I mean, and chill out. This is how we get our shit, nigga, because we can't sit here and chill all week. You got a girl you gotta spend time with. You got a girl you gotta spend time with. I got
money, homie. What you mean?
But you know what I'm saying? But it's we all have different priorities. But the main priority we have is we have to take care of our family first. And so before we can all hang out, nigga, we have to make sure all our priorities is set, or make sure they're in line. Cause this won't happen if they're not. But that being said, it's good to see that a bunch of our homies is it's coming up. Everybody's starting to make their new wave. Yeah, we're rapping right now. But I'm asking you because I need to do this on cam. Am I dropping that freestyle the day after we drop this? The one that you recorded? The one that you recorded? I didn't record anything. You recorded.
Everything.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, if y'all made it this far, because this is the wrap-up, this is the end, my boy Isiah threw some heat out for y'all, a little freestyle. If you fucking with it, run those numbers up. Leave something in the comments, show them some love, because, like I said, this shit's a long haul process, and we take a lot out of our own individual days and lives to make this shit happen. So, thank you again for tuning in to the Team 7 podcast. This is the wrap-up.